Hey, it's Brad, Jack of all adventures, and I'm going to make this video on the need for divorce reform, or marriage reform, or whatever you want to call it. It's basically because I guess I was naive when I got married, um, and I'm learning the lesson the hard way. Basically, I believe that there would be some commitment in marriage. For me, it's sort of a little bit of an existential crisis because I thought the world was a way, and I don't. Sometimes I guess I worry about myself because I didn't perceive the reality of what the world was. I just had, because I've lived in it all my life. In 1969, then Governor Ronald Reagan of California signed the first no-fault divorce in the law, and then the rest of the states started after that, and I wasn't born until 71. So I just never had any experience to mount anything with divorce. I mean, the people I knew that got divorced did it a little bit more civilly. Um, and unfortunately, somehow I ended up in this kind of high conflict divorce because my wife stumbled into an aggressive attorney. And I'm learning that a little bit through this whole process. And I'm not going to say too much more now because I am in the middle of the process. I got several videos up on my experience so far, and I'm going to take them all down. And then, once I'm through it, I'll probably put them back up, possibly. It'll be interesting to see how I feel about it once I'm through it. But it's the worst experience of my life. Prior to this, the worst experience of my life was officer candidate school. Richard Gere. It was Navy aviation officer candidate school that combined with regular officer candidate school because I was a Civil Engineer Corps officer. And, that was the worst experience of my life back when I was, I don't know, what would I have been, around 25, 24 years old? 1993, maybe 22 years old? I don't know. And then like 15 years later, I went to Iraq. And that was the second worst experience of my life. And now dealing with the trauma of divorce, and it hurts bad losing the most important person in your life when they break up with you. And there was reasons for it. I wasn't fully against it, but I wasn't fully for it. I was definitely not ready to quit my relationship. Fortunately, my wife was. And should she have been? I don't know. I mean, I've thought about it a lot and known that I wasn't perfect, but I also think I did more things right than I did wrong, which makes the worst part of my experience is the law. And that's why I strongly feel the law needs changed. So not only was my wife completely supported by the law and allowed to break up with me, because it's basically what it is. It's like a no-fault divorce is really just a breakup. And it doesn't matter, even if I did stuff wrong or if I did everything right. That's the thing that gets me. From what I understand from the people I talk to, it's like the behaviors mean almost nothing. All they want to do is take and split up your money. It's relatively easy work for the lawyers. There's not a lot of emotion involved in it, and they just get play with some numbers and charge a bunch of money. I mean, it's the gravy work of divorce law. So, I mean, and that's my feelings, and that needs to change. And I'll definitely have more to talk about it once this is all over. At least I hope so, because I don't want other people to experience what I've had to experience. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous that you can be sued for divorce just because your wife wants to break up with you. And then be sucked into this trap. And it's what it is. So, and it's real. I mean, from my experience at my last hearing and everything, it's real. It's a trap. There's a movie, Divorce Corp, that was made like 10 years ago, and my experience hasn't been as bad as that, but the appearance of what's going on leads me to believe that that's pretty common, at least, from my experience. So, and it's not as bad as the movie, but divorce lawyers are colleagues and they know each other, and the judges are other colleagues, and it's not like You know, I've made most of my retirement from doing construction work, self-employed construction work, and subcontracting from pool dealers and the other pool installers out there. I kind of know who they are, but I wouldn't consider us colleagues like lawyers. We didn't go to the bar association and get the college degree and everything. Even though I got a mechanical engineering degree and was a Navy officer, I still end up redneck. So I'm better off working than sitting behind a desk, and I found a way to be self-employed, and it worked pretty well. But it's definitely a different experience when you have my colleagues are other pool installers, and I'm actually a little bit competitive with them because, well, it used to be anyways. There was only so much work, and I wanted to work. But now I don't need to work, so now I am a little bit more colleagues, and I get as much. I don't want to do much anyways. I mean, I'm ready to do something else. I busted my butt for way too long. That's why I was ready to retire, and now I'm ready to retire, and my wife can sue me for divorce and take so much that I've worked for, even though we married late in life. We're financially independent and never commingled funds while we were married, and didn't get a prenup. I wasn't worried about it. I had the mythical love that was going to last forever because I fell in love, and she was perfect, just like M. Scott Peck says. And I was perfect for her too at the time. But that fades, and then the legal profession finds a way to capitalize on it for people that's worked hard and saved. Now, I mean, it's a different experience for everybody in different financial positions and stuff like that too. And some people have kids, and then fortunately I didn't have kids. I just have dogs, and my wife doesn't want the dogs, so I get the dogs, and I'm happy to have the dogs. Although sometimes it'd be nice if she would take her visitations, but yeah, I don't know. It's been rough. I don't know. I might make another video or two on it if I feel I can do it without any legal implications, because I'm going to be hiring a new lawyer after I've fired two, and that's a little bit of a challenge too, because I thought the last judge we had retired, and as she retired, she was pretty fair with me when I was my own attorney. However, I didn't realize the extent of everything but even then I knew what could have happened. It's just not really knowing what to do and hoping for cooperation from my spouse. But you're not going to get it. And that's the main thing. This is why we can't have lawyers in the system of conscious uncoupling, which, I mean, that's the book that came out right around a year ago now. And I didn't know. It's interesting too, when I watch back the videos that I have made that I'm taking down, is I started out in a lot of the conscious uncoupling theory all on my own before I stumbled into the book. And then I read that book, and it's like that's a model of what society needs to do if we're not going to have committed marriage. And I don't know if it's best for humans to have committed marriage. Some humans it definitely is. Other humans it's probably definitely not. And then the average human, do we want committed marriage? Do we want to work hard through the tough times to build a strong bond and be together for the rest of our lives? I know the group of people I just talked to, the leader of that group, she doesn't believe in it. She doesn't want it. She's definitely somebody that should not be married, as far as I'm concerned. And that's fine. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you don't want a lifelong partner, then that's fine. I mean, there's no right or wrong way for humans to exist until you partner with somebody. And if your partner wants a lifelong commitment and you don't, then you shouldn't get married. The problem is a lot of people might think that they want one. And then eventually, you know, as time goes on, they're like, oh, yeah, I fell out of love, and now it's too hard to make this thing work. And yeah, I mean, so I'm still, I mean, you can only live your life once anyways. So, I mean, you can't know whether you would have been happy if you would have stayed married, and you can't know. And at this point, I can't know if I'm going to be happy that I'm getting divorced, but I don't have a choice in the matter. That's the thing. It's like there's no choice for me. In marriage, if whoever wants to get divorced gets their way. If you want to stay committed, you feel like it's not so bad and it could be worked out, it doesn't matter. The person who wants divorce is going to get their way. So that's one thing that I think is just inherently wrong with the system. If you're going to say all the words that and make the commitment, and then the law doesn't mirror that, not even in the slightest, and then you realize that one of the significant reasons why the law doesn't mirror it is because of the business of divorce. Just like the pharmaceutical, I mean, the capitalism corrupts a lot of things, and I'm not going to say any more about it now. I mean, any attorney I get better be able to accept that I have these feelings and beliefs based on what I've experienced, and just based on my moral code. That, I mean, the reality of what's out there just doesn't seem moral. Yeah. So anyways, I've rattled on a little bit longer than I wanted to. It's less than the other videos I've made. And I just kind of, for anybody that has watched the other like 10, there might be 10 videos up now or more that I'm going to be taking down. Just want to say thank you guys for the support. A couple people didn't show support. I thank the negative comments too. I mean, I can learn from them all. I appreciate what everyone says. We're all going through life with different moralities and realities. And I mean, some people live a little bit more wild life and don't get bothered by certain things, and others take things a little bit more seriously. And yeah, so that's enough of what I got to say for now. Just know that we do need divorce reform. It's really unfair if you're going to take the commitment out of marriage to allow one partner to sue the other when they're the one leaving. To me, it's just insane, but that's the way it goes. And I am out for now.